Hey folks, so we're here playing Gwent, showing the game off, although unlike the other videos I've made, this video is not going to be very explanatory. I'm not trying to teach the game because I'm in no position to do so. I'm very much new to this myself, feeling very green. It's more, I'm just going to play through a game, kind of talk through what I'm doing, and let the people who are more experienced comment on it and tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, other things I should think about. If you are looking to kind of learn the game and check it out, I do recommend it. It's a very different sort of experience from the other digital CCGs. I think it helps you kind of round out your experience with the genre. So yeah, check it out. And if people like this kind of thing, maybe I will record a more introductory video later. But anyway, we're going to jump into battle with an AI opponent here, so I have the time to talk through my plays. I'm playing this Bran deck. So, attempting to fill my graveyard and pull things out of there for value. My gold cards pick themselves because I only have 4 gold cards. Some of them do okay in the deck. Some of them I'm reasonably unhappy with. Like, I don't think any reason to be playing Geralt here in this deck. He just doesn't do anything. There's no way to make use of the 15 points of power that he has other than just happen there as a dumb creature. So that's unfortunate, but those are the cards I own right now. In silver, things are a little bit more interesting. A lot of what I'm doing in silver is making sure to thin my deck as much as possible so that my combos can kind of come together. So I've got Skjall here to go and pull the Cursed Berserker out of my deck. I've got Roach that pops out of my deck anytime I play a gold card, and I've got the Marching Orders that always tutors up for me one of the Priestesses of Freya. So a big focus in silver on deck thinning. I've also got Hjolger Blackhand here, which plays into my main strategy, as we'll see in a couple seconds. Commander's Horn, which I can usually turn into a high value play, a 20-point play, which is considerably above rate for silver cards from what I've seen. I'm guessing this might become far less useful against more competitive players, but down in the low ranks where I am right now, this is, just seems like an all-around great card. And Hyutta here, which, like Geralt, is just points of power, so not great, but she is as much power as I can get out of a silver card. The actual play to the deck is based around the Queen's Guard here. So I went into this deck because I opened a couple copies of this card, and it seemed interesting, and sure enough, when I kind of did some research, I found it is playable. The basic idea is that when you play one Queen's Guard, the other Queen's Guards currently in your graveyard are resurrected. So I tend to try to use Bran's ability to dump 2 of them into the graveyard right off the bat, and then as long as I have 1 in my opening hand, I can bring the full set back, and then Priestesses of Freya in rounds 2 and 3, bring them all back again. To take advantage of that, I also include the Clan Shieldsmith, which strengthens the Queen's Guard. So because the strengthen effect lasts round over round over round, that's multiplicative. If I can strengthen a unit by 2 in round 1, I'm gaining 6 points across the course of the game, which seems nice. I have the Clan Raider as the 3rd target for Bran's ability, because when he's discarded, he automatically jumps right into play. I've got First Light as another tutor, another kind of deck thinner, as well as to deal with the hazards that some of the monsters tend to play. What else? Oh, and I've got the Clan Hunters. The Clan Hunters are nice things to pull out of the graveyard after you've been resurrecting the Queen's Guard, because they're guaranteed 11-point plays. But also, they work well with Hjalmar here, allowing you to kill the spawn that he creates and make sure that he is a high value play, a 21-point play if everything goes well. So yeah, that is the deck. Your basic strategy is to make sure that you set up well in round 1. The worst case scenario for this deck is that you get started in round 1, your opponent kind of realizes what you're doing and they short circuit you. But it doesn't take a lot. You just need 4 turns usually to make good use of round 1. You start with Bran, you play the 1 Queen's Guard that you keep in your hand, and then you play out the Shieldsmiths. And that kind of sets you up in round 1. You can spend the rest of the round just thinning your deck. It doesn't particularly matter if you win or lose. You just want the round to go long. Then round 2 plays out. If you won round 1, then you spend round 2 bleeding your opponent, making sure that round 3 is incredibly short. The ideal round 3 for you is just playing a single Priestess of Freya and bringing back your, at that point, incredibly powerful Queensguard. Or if you lost round 1, then round 2 is just about making sure that you come away without too much card disadvantage, which usually isn't that tough. And round 3 you want that to be as short as possible. So let's jump in and see what that looks like. So the mulliganing so far has been pretty straightforward. We always mull to have a Queensguard in hand, and then we mull away any of our tutor targets. So in this case, we've got all 3 Queensguard in hand. Actually, we've got all 3 of our Bran targets in hand. So we're going to have to probably get rid of all of those. Hopefully we don't pull up any of the other tutor targets. The Weaponsmith is actually exactly what I want to pull out here. Yeah, so unfortunately came up with Roach there, which isn't ideal, but we'll be able to mulligan him away in round 2, I hope. Okay, opponent's got a nice start there with the Brewess. This is a little bit scary. If I play Bran out now, it's only going to take me up to 7 points, and my opponent may decide to just end the round there. I could at that point just play Geralt to make sure that I don't go down too much in card advantage, but I won't get my setup time, which would be unfortunate. Still, we're going to give this a shot. So we're going to put Queensguard, Clan Raider into the yard. Clan Raider pops right back out. And we'll see how my opponent wants to proceed here. Yeah, opponent just passed. Okay, so this is fine. We can come away from this round, only 1 card down with the win. And then we can just force round 2 to be as long as possible to ensure that we get all our setup done. The question is, how are we going to finish out this round? Do I have a 14-point play? I do. If I play my single Queensguard out right now, that pulls the 2 5-power Queensguards from my graveyard. So that would be 14 points, which would take me to 21. So that's a slight value over playing Geralt here. I think that's fine. I think that's probably the play. So there you go to 21. Now pass things along. And we'll settle in for a long round 2 where I bleed my opponent as possibly up as best I can with my Queensguard here. So I'm going to mulligan away Roach at this point, hoping for another Shieldsmith. Okay, I like that quite a bit. So we are on the lead here, and I don't think there's anything wrong with leading with the Queensguard. It is going to set up a situation where my opponent might choose to play a weather effect onto this middle row here. And that's fine. I mean, that's kind of something we have to expect, given that we're playing against the monsters here. Oh no, my opponent actually going to play a resilient creature. Okay. Sometimes we have play against that, but at 6 power, it might be tough to deal with too efficiently here. The fact that my opponent didn't get to consume anything is probably pretty good for us. Anyway, we're going to keep going with the plan, which is to use the Clan Shieldsmiths strengthen our Queen's Guard here. I'm thinking the opponent might take the opportunity to set up a weather effect in the middle row. Oh, okay, so that seems very good for us. He ate his own resilient creature, and I think because of the way resilient works, when this guy carries over to the next round, he's going to be back to 6. So my opponent actually gave up a lot there. That's okay. Yeah, we have the opportunity. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to use the Commander's Horn on my middle row here. Just to give a full 20 points of value. Opponent is bringing out Dagon, and he's setting up Fog here. So the Fog every turn is going to deal 2 damage to my strongest creature, I believe. That's how it works. So none of these creatures are going to die as a result of the Fog. That's totally fine. What we are going to do is continue the plan of strengthening our Queen's Guard here. Cool. Okay, so now we have, I guess, some decisions to make. We're 18 points up on our opponent. If we think about the effect of the Fog, we're 16 points up on our opponent. If our opponent doesn't have a 16-point card in hand, then they would, you know, for our point total here, and if you go into round 3 way ahead, I'm interested in that, but I think I might even be able to push the issue. I can play Hjalmar out here. He's going to go and pull Roach out of the deck, which is good because it's thinning the deck, which I want to do right now. I definitely don't want to draw Roach in round 3. And then if I can use my Clan Hunter here to kill the Lord, I might be so far ahead there that I'm pretty much guaranteed to balance the card advantage. So yeah, we're going to use Hjalmar. Goes and picks up Roach there, setting us a nice 33 points ahead of our opponent, although obviously down on cards. And now, when we use our Clan Hunter to kill the Lord, we go up now 43 points ahead of our opponent and 2 cards back. Opponent could have something to deal with our Hjalmar here, but he doesn't. Okay. So, we are 25 points up. I'm guessing that that is good enough. So we're going to pass the turn here. And we'll see if opponent can catch up that 25 points with a single card or if it takes him 2. Can't do it in 1. Still needs another 14 points here. Can't actually do it in 2. Wow. Yeah, so we managed to significantly bleed our opponent out in this second round, which is great for us. We're going to go into round 3 way ahead on cards with our Queen's Guard almost fully powered up. And we should. Our mulligan here is pretty easy. We put back one of our gold cards because our Royal Decree here is going to be able to go get it. So I will just put back Geralt. Doesn't really matter which one. And we drew our bear. That's not ideal. We'd rather tutor him out, but I think it's going to be fine here. So opponent kind of going nuts over there, setting everything up. He could have taken the opportunity to steal one of the Queen's Guard from my graveyard. I guess that what he's doing doesn't make 0 sense though. So we are going to just kind of lead on the Priestess to pull out the Queen's Guard, because they're not great targets. We'll put them on the row down here in case my opponent wants to set up a weather effect. Alright, we can go get another Priestess right now. If we do that, what are we pulling out of our yard? Oh, we're pulling 11 points out of our yard. So yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be a 14-point turn here. By playing the marching orders, we go and get a 3-power Priestess of Freya, and then in combination with, did I miss something? Why can't I get the Clan Shieldsmith out of my graveyard? Not that it really matters. This is still the same kind of total points. The Shieldsmith is, oh, he's not a soldier. That's why. Okay. Yeah, my opponent lays down some fog, but we've got plays for days. In this case, we only need one. We just need Triss here to put ourselves significantly in the lead. And then we have another 15, 28, 30 points of power minus 6 that we would lose to fog, but so about 30 points of power left to play out. So we would win this round very handily. You know what? We'll go and get Geralt. Oh, and I forgot about the 2-point bonus he gets as well. Just continue to play out our stuff just to see exactly how far ahead we were there. But I think the point is well made. Because we were able to take the win in round 1, we were able to bleed out our opponents significantly in round 2, also setting up our own combos, which means when we got to round 3, we were ahead in cards and we were able to capitalize and take a significant win over our opponent. So yeah, that's what I'm doing so far in Gwent. Mostly feel like I just fell into it because I opened a couple Queen's Guards in my first couple kegs, but I'm not unhappy with the strategy. I don't mind the graveyard interactions, the deck thinning. It feels very systematic, very linear, but it does force you to make some interesting decisions, and I think it gives you opportunities to play your opponent too. So anyway, thanks for watching, and talk to you later.